I do know what I'm doing. It just sometimes it doesn't look like it. Oh, we've got a bit of a kink here. We've got a kinky one. So the one we're going to now is another intermittent problem with another Jim Coleman self-serve system. Customers are complaining that there's an inadequate amount of soap coming out on the high pressure soap function. It is intermittent, comes and goes, different bay. So this is a gravity feed system where it sucks it through to the cap pump, similar to the previous job. Replace the lines, replace the fittings, replace the needle valves that control the flow of soap, but the client's still not happy with it. So I'm just going to go and have a look, maybe come up with a way of pushing that soap into the pump as opposed to allowing it to suck through and get it a bit more consistent. So I'm probably going to plumb up a flow jet into the manifold, which will allow us to control the amount of soap that's pushing through to the pump. If I can do it today with the parts on board, I will do so. If not, it'll be a job for another day. I might even come up with a different way of alleviating the issue. We will see. How's it going?
Hey! How you going?
Alright mate, how are you?
Good mate.
Cleaning the walls on a Saturday, mate.
Yeah.
So, being as you're complaining all the time, I'm going to look at putting in a pump to push the soap into the pumps. I'm not even going to look at the issue in the bays.
2 months ago, one was fucking shit. They're working or they're not, mate.
Alright, I'll leave you alone for a bit. Alright, so another Jim Coleman self-serve. All the low pressure functions are using flow jets, which is fine. But then high pressure soap is just gravity fed, sucks through to the pump. That's the inlet there, which is coming from the soap hydromider tank. Everything's already been checked before, that there's no blockages anywhere, either in the tank or down here. The stems, poppets have been replaced, coils where necessary. All these lines going back to the pump are all unblocked. But for some reason, yeah, it's just inconsistent with the amount of soap that's coming out. We do have needle valves here that are wide open. They're all wide open at the moment, but that'll control the amount of flow of the soap going into the pump. So even if we pressurize this line with a flow jet, we still have individual control of the amount of soap that's going in. So that's why I'm thinking we just put a flow jet in there, and maybe that'll fix the issues. So it's just going to maybe a matter of getting the outlet from the hydromider tank to the inlet of the flow jet, and then from out of the flow jet into the manifold. And then, just like what's been done here in the past, just hook up and tee into the airline, put a regulator in there. We should be alright. I'll have a look on the van to see if I've got all the parts that we need, and maybe get it done this morning. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it today. I'm just going to double check I've got all the parts in my van. I'll get it done. There just might be an interruption to the self-serves every now and again. Alright, let's see if we have all the parts we need. With a flow jet. Air regulator. Our air gauge to go on the regulator. like so. And then it's just going to be a matter of getting all the right brass that we need. Go back inside and make a bit of a list in my head. But yeah, it looks like we're going to be able to do the job. Okay. Right. Quite a bit of moisture in that air. That's not good. Yeah, not good. You would notice that it's very rare you'll see me with the right size spanner, and I do have them. I have every spanner you can think of, but I deal with so many different pieces of equipment, metric, imperial, etc. That if I were to get the right size spanner out every time for every little job, it would just add so much time on. It's just not worth it. You'll never see me ruin a fitting by using an adjustable spanner, and for especially larger jobs, I'll always use the right one that needs a lot of torque. But these are just small fittings, and yeah, a couple of shifters as they're called over here, and it'll get you by. This one, for example, need to use this because it's quite hard to get to, and you can break these gauges very easily. So I do know what I'm doing, it just sometimes it doesn't look like it. Alright, so if you turn that one's back on, so they've got the tyre cleaner working or whatever it does. That's all good. We'll start by putting our airline in. So we're going to be able to govern the air pressure to the flow jet, and also then govern the output via the needle valves. I think it'll work. I really hope it does. A bit of slack on that. Okay, now the tricky part. We have to take off the outlet from the hydrominer tank. That's going to feed into the new flow jet, and then from the flow jet to the manifold. The problem is there's no way to shut off the supply coming from the hydrominer tank, and we're going to need to get one of these fittings on the end of that hose as well. So I think to do it right, also the bays are in use as well. So if I turn off that supply and somebody uses the high pressure soak, it's going to suck air into the cap pump and cause cavitation, which is not great. But we're dealing with a live site. I can't shut it down. It's a Saturday, so don't want to interrupt their business. I think what I might do is just drain the tank. Oh. Is it coming alright?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a bit of a kink here. We've got a kinky one. It won't take me long. I've got most of it done. I hope it works.
Yeah, but got I'm dead on it, mate.
Do, 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 do. We're down the back underneath, replacing check valves and shit. I was sweating like a pig. Alright, that'll do us. Thank you.
Alright.
Just get this water red hot again. Oh, we need to get the plastic fitting on the end of this hose. Hopefully we can get that in the kettle here. It's going to be awkward though. It's going to be very awkward. And it's still leaking water. Stop. Yeah, and now somebody's trying to use the high pressure soap. Oh dear. Oh, come on, man. This is ridiculous. Alright, there we go. Alright, that's the in done. Quickly get the output line on. People are trying to use the damn function. Whew. I guess for now, if I just close off all these needle valves and it won't suck air through. It was quiet enough to get on with this without being interrupted, but now everybody seems to be here. They're all trying to use this function, so close all these off for now. They probably won't even need to be opened that far once we get this manifold pressurized with soap, so no big problem. Oh, get this tank refilled. Definitely no blockages in there. You should be able to put some air onto this. Yeah. "20 psi at the moment." Then I'll go and check the bays. Don't have any soap coming out of there, so Let's have a look. Okay. Alright, so just turn the pressure up on the flow jet and open the needle valve a little bit. We're definitely doing something. We'll go outside and have a look again. Oh yes, that's more like it. That's more like it. Woohoo! Yeah. I'll just roughly set the other bays. Now to me that seemed like too much soap, but this is what they're asking for. We better check every bay. I mean, there could even be a poppet issue in one of the other bays. So we better be thorough, and then we'll get the attendant across to see what he thinks. And all the bays are full, so I'll have to wait. There we go. Wow, that's a lot of soap. Okay, good. Now we can try this one. All right. That worked out quite well, I think. I'll just wait for this guy to finish, and we'll test this bay, and if all good, call it a day. Okay, that guy took ages. Woohoo! Haha, mate! Wait till you see it. Every bay's the same, mate. If you ask me, it's a bit too much.
Yeah.
But I'll show you how to adjust it, and you can set it however you want it, but I would not go higher than that.
Show us your rig, mate. Custom mods.
I'm glad it worked. That's now your high pressure soap.
Okay.
So it's similar to all that. The
Yeah.
difference is these are for all the low pressure functions. That's why it's not normal to do this.
Oh yeah.
So basically, this one here controls how powerful the pump is.
Yeah.
You see somebody's using it now,
Yeah.
and it's set a lot lower than the rest of them are,
Yeah.
on purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
But then if you remember these little valves here,
Yeah.
that's what's going to adjust it out in the bay. So there's a little locking ring, obviously, there.
Yeah.
If you want to reduce it, you screw it in.
Yeah.
If you want to increase it, you unscrew it. They're set about halfway at the minute.
Okay.
Very fine adjustment.
Alright.
Alright, we're out there. The attendant was very happy. I'm sure the customers will be too. Two downsides to modifying it that way is, number one, they're going to use a lot more chemical. Number two is probably going to take a little bit more time to clear the soap out of the lines when they switch to high pressure rinse. But the client and the attendant is aware of that. I've shown them how to adjust it to reduce the amount of soap. Now they actually have some adjustability on it, which is good. I don't think I'm going to go anywhere else today or tomorrow unless I get something urgent. I'm pretty tired from that install, so homeward bound.